Fishaholics, so welcome back to another episode. And currently what we've got going on is I just finished packing up the Forerunner here in the lower lot of the Montauk Lighthouse, and I've been here in Montauk now for probably about a week and a half, and I've had an amazing time. Caught up with a lot of good buddies and friends that I've made over the years, and also did a lot of inshore and offshore fishing. And if you've been following along with the vids, you probably saw some of that content, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. But now, unfortunately and fortunately, we've got to continue our journey and head up to New England. So I just booked my cross-sound ferry, and we're gonna catch it from Orient to New London, then drive up to Rhode Island and Massachusetts and do some surf fishing or some kayak fishing. I'm not 100% sure exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna kind of put that plan together on the fly as we were driving, and probably while we're on the ferry heading up to New England. But I'm excited and ready to basically kind of get to the final point of this adventure. And then once we get up to New England and fish for a couple of days, then I'm gonna do my U-turn and start heading back south to Florida. And then once I get back to Florida, then I'm catching a flight soon to Panama August 5th, which is only like 12 days away, and I'm gonna be in Panama till like August 13th, then come back to the States for like a week, and then I'm actually going to Brazil. So I've got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm excited. The next month and a half or so is really going to be a crazy ride, and I'm going to be able to capture so much content for you guys. I'm not even going to know what to do with it. It's going to take me probably months to edit it all, but it'll be awesome and really epic. So anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to keep you guys updated as the day progresses. You know, film some B-roll and the progression of the day, and I probably will either see you on the ferry or see you up in New England next. And one thing that's most important is wherever we end up, hopefully we end up finding some fish and catching them. So stay tuned. Y'all, a little update for you. So we decided to cut through the Conics rather than go all the way around, so that'll probably save us about an hour. And now I'm on the North Fork, but we took the ferry from Sag Harbor to Shelter Island, and then Shelter Island to Greenport, and now I'm only about 5 miles from Orient, and that's where we're going to hop on our final ferry and take that over to New London. Across Long Island Sound to Connecticut, and made it through Connecticut. We're now in Rhode Island and almost to Providence on 95 North. And I decided on the ferry over that we're just gonna head straight up to Rockport, Massachusetts. And I've done some research there before, but never fished it. And I wanted to fish there way back since like when I lived in Rhode Island, when I was going to college at Johnson & Wales University, but I just never put together a plan to go up and fish it. And it just looks like such a beautiful area, and it's a really nice point that sticks out into the ocean, and there's some awesome like cliff faces and really cool rocky shorelines that I think could be really good for some striped bass, bluefish, maybe some black sea bass, fluke. So we're gonna go check it out, and it's saying that we'll get up there at like 3:45 p.m. and it's 1:39 p.m. right now. But it seems like that ETA keeps getting later and later since we left Connecticut, so maybe that's rush hour traffic in Providence or Boston. There could be some accidents that are happening down the road, I'm not sure. But if we end up getting caught in traffic, I might just pull over, go to a Panera, and have some lunch, do some video editing, and then maybe see if we can just get up to Rockport before sunset at least, and then just do some snooping around, and then save our energy for tomorrow, where we'll really get out and do a lot of fishing and filming, and hopefully put together a good catch. So stay tuned. If I do any fishing today, I'll definitely add it, but if not, then we'll do it tomorrow. So let's just get to where we need to go safely. And we're pulling into Providence like right now. I can't believe how quick we got right through Rhode Island. Actually, being in Florida now, like everything is a lot further away, so I almost forgot like how small this state is. It's kind of cool to be back. It only takes like 40 minutes to go across the whole state. So yeah, let's keep driving and paying attention to where we got to go. Alright, well, it is the next day and we made it to Rockport, Massachusetts, and I decided not to fish yesterday because at around 4:30 p.m. this whole area got hit by a really big storm with a lot of thunder, lightning, and torrential downpours. So I decided to stay dry and just plan our attack for today. And wow, look at this. We just walked through a trail that was about a half-mile long to get to the ocean finally, and I already flew the drone around a little bit at sunrise just to kind of get a good look of the area and a lay of the land, and I'm excited. Let's start plugging away, and we're walking out first onto this rocky point that sticks out into the ocean, and I think it looks really good. Luckily today the winds aren't too bad. Tomorrow it's going to be really windy, but based on the direction of the wind that we have, I believe if we can get on a point that's right over here, the furthest out east, we could probably really launch our plugs out as far as we can get them. And the more water we cover, maybe the better shot of putting our presentation in front of maybe some hungry stripers or bluefish. So let's get after it. All right, I'm gonna start out by tossing out this big pencil popper. These rocks are definitely slick, so I'm wearing corkers so I don't slip and bust my butt. All right, first cast, here we go. So I wasn't in a huge rush to fish at first light because high tide was at like 5:30 a.m. and that was when basically sunrise was happening. So I was not in a huge rush because I figured we could just take our time, and by the time we get out here we'll start to have some outgoing water. And it's 6:41 right now, and it looks like I'm starting to see some outgoing tide push around this point. And I bet you if we're gonna get any fish here, it's gonna be between like 7 a.m. and like 10 a.m. is gonna be probably a pretty hot time. And also maybe in the evening if we come back here. Like if we do well here in the morning, then we'll probably come back here at around dusk. See those scratches? That's from another guy's corkers. So that's gonna tell me right here, could be a good spot because there's other people that fish it. Let's try a smaller topwater plug. Maybe this squid pencil will get a bite. Nothing on the squid pencil either. Let's try the dark matter pulsar popper. Oh, there's a fish. I think we got a nice bluefish on right now. Sweet. This fish like flew out of the water to eat this. Whoa, there he goes. Nice. This fish doesn't like these two rocks. Every time I bring him close to it, he just rips drag. And I think he's hooked kind of weird. He might be like hooked like on the side of the face, so he's pulling a little harder than it normally would. Solid like 11 pounder. I'll take that on the pulsar. All right, that bluefish swam off. It wasn't the most graceful release, but I thought he was going to take off right away, and then he kind of just laid there, and then I just saw him swim away. Oh, there's another fish. Oh, dang. That bluefish threw it. Pretty cool to see there's like a concentration of them. Oh God, just got whacked again. Yeah, there's definitely a big concentration of them coming through now. Oh, we got away there too. So I'm totally okay that we lost those last two bluefish. And you know, the reason that we're probably losing them is because typically when I'm fishing with a plug like this with two trebles, I like to crimp down two of the barbs on the back treble and one of the barbs on the middle treble. And that is because smaller fish and bluefish will tend to be hooked more on the back hook, and bigger fish seem to be able to get most of this plug in their mouth, so therefore you get both of these treble hooks in a bigger fish. And also, it's not really the big fish that you have to worry about when, you know, catching and releasing them with a plug like this with treble hooks. It's the smaller ones that wiggle around and shake the trebles all around. And, you know, those are the fish that are most likely going to get a hook in you, especially if you have all the barbs on each and every treble, and therefore it's going to be more difficult to get the hooks out, and then it's just going to take longer. It's going to increase the, you know, mortality rate of that fish, and then also increase the chance of you getting a hook in yourself, and then it's going to be even more difficult to get the hook out of you if you have all the barbs. Oh, there's a bite. There he is. There we go. Fish on. Whoa, whoa, this one's ripping. Wow. This one might be a little bit bigger. Or just side hooked again. See you later, Mr. Blue. All right, let's see if we can get some more. Pretty sweet. All right, so I took about 100 more casts in this spot, and I tried various different plugs and still could not buy another bite. So I decided to move down to the southeast, to the right a little bit, to see if I could find some more fish. Oh. Oh, I'm getting swirled on right here at the edge of the rocks. Ah. Now this looks really good right here. This point juts out a little bit further. Oh, there was a good bite. Come on back, come on back, come on back. That looked like a striper too. Dang. It had a wider broom tail. Holy. I just moved down from that rock to right here. We got that last bite right out there. But I took a couple dozen more casts there and no other interested parties, so I'm just gonna bounce all over this point and just cover every inch of it. Let's try this Rapala here.
I'm seeing a lot of the boats that are fishing around me using, I think, live mackerel as bait. So this might kind of look like a little mackerel to a striper or a bluefish. Oh, there was a striper right there that whacked the Rapala. That was definitely a striper. It was a small one, but hey, I'll take whatever we get right now.
All right, little update for y'all. So after those 2 last bites, which I'm pretty sure were stripers, but unfortunately they got away, I fished down like another half mile or so and no other bites. And then I fished my way back to these boulders here where we got on the bluefish bite earlier, and still no more bites. And we pretty much fished through this entire outgoing tide, and right now it's like slack low, which was around like 12 p.m. So I'm gonna probably go back to the truck and have my Jersey Mike sub and some water, some tea, and then I'm gonna think about what to do next. We could come back out here and fish the incoming tide from the surf and then catch the beginning of the outgoing into dusk, or we could go to the other side of Rockport. I'm on the north side now, so maybe we can go to the south side, like kind of over by like Cape Ann, and maybe launch the kayak. You know, I'm thinking that might be our best shot at getting on our, you know, the best bite that we can get on today, and also possibly catch the biggest fish that we might be able to find. So I'm kind of still undecided. I just need to go fuel up and you know, start thinking straight, because I'm a little delirious. I only had like a granola bar this morning and like half a water bottle, so I'm pretty thirsty and hungry, and I need some sustenance before I start making some major moves today. But at least we got the skunk out of the way for the day, and we caught some fish, and you know, those bluefish were decent size. They weren't, you know, super small, so it was cool. So I had fun. And by the way, the setup that I was using to start off today is just the 9-foot dark matter medium fast action spinning rod, surf spinning rod, and I have it paired with the Shimano 10,000 Sargosa. And I do have the VS 250 with me, but I knew that like I wasn't going to be like swimming out to rocks here in this area, so I just left it in the truck. And the drag clicker on my VS isn't working, so I wanted to fish with a reel that has the clicker working, because I feel like that's sometimes like the most exciting part about hooking into a fish, is when you hear that drag going zzz and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I'm using it. But anyway, let's go get some lunch and some water. Whew, I need it. Well, we made it back out here, and I decided just to fish the same stretch that we hit earlier, because one, we paid like $20 to park, so I want to get my money's worth, of course, but also I just didn't feel like leaving fish to find fish. And also once we got to like 2 p.m. The wind kicked up a lot more than it was forecasted to, so I decided to scrap any idea of launching the kayak. And right now it is like 4:45, so we'll probably fish from now until like sunset, and hopefully we'll get a few more biters. So let's do it. All right, no bites on the spook, but you know, I bet it'll get better to use this a little later. This is where we had our last 2 bites, and I fished my way down here and nothing else.
there's a little striper. There we go. Not a giant, but my first Rockport striper. Uh-oh. He released himself. I'm gonna try a couple casts with the Fishaholic finback shad. If there's a lot of schoolie to like slot size fish around, they might hit this. Oh, no way! Look at that. I believe this is a little pollock on the Fishaholic finback shad. That's a really cool surprise. See ya. I bet you if I was using a lot of smaller presentations today, I probably would have caught quite a few of them. Dang it. Now I've got to try the pulsar popper again because that's what really worked well earlier. They might just want a popper. There's a fish. There we go. On the popper. And it might be a striper. Oh yeah, we got a little striper. Bigger than our first one. Sweet. This one might actually even be borderline like keeper size. All right. Let's get them back. Ew. That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep on plugging away, see if we can get some more. All right, well, I think that's gonna be a wrap after that last striper. And we fished for like another 30 minutes till basically sunset, and we threw everything in the bag and just could not buy another bite. And I would fish a little bit into dark, but I usually have a rule of thumb when I'm fishing a new spot, and that is to really never fish it in the dark until you fish it like at least 3 or 4 or 5 times in the day. Otherwise, you end up hurting yourself. So, you know, you might want to do the same if you're thinking about fishing a spot at night. Definitely try and do it as many times as you can in the day so that you know each and every rock like the back of your hand. And on top of that, I've kind of felt weak all day. I don't know if I'm coming on to COVID-19 or strep throat, or if it could just be allergies. You know, we shall see, but I'm gonna keep powering through. I really need to go get some water, and I'm gonna chow down tonight. Maybe find a good restaurant locally that has lobster or lobster rolls or lobster cakes, crab cakes, New England clam chowder. Ooh, that would really hit the spot and make my throat feel better. My throat's like really sore, so it like hurt like every word that I said today. And I'm ready to get off the water and call it a day and plan something for tomorrow. I might stay in this area, or I might head down to Rhode Island and hit a spot that I know that I've fished in like the past, You know, it's kind of to be determined. I'll just play it by ear. So stay tuned by hitting that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you enjoyed this video, I'll put all my tackle and equipment down in the description below. And like always, live to fish, fish to live.